Good morning. My name is Jana Hoagland, and I'm the Director of Community Engagement here at Grand Rapids Christian Schools. We're here on the campus of our high school with Superintendent Tom DeYoung, and we're excited to share with you some of our reopening plans for fall 2020. Now, school is going to look different this year. How did Grand Rapids Christian come up with the plans and procedures that we're going to have for reopening school this year?
I can answer that. Several months ago, the Board of Trustees charged me to charge task forces representing each of our 5 campuses for the purpose of determining what our reopening plan would look like in the event we're allowed to reopen school this fall. And those task forces were comprised of administrators, faculty and staff, and other department level administrators from around the buildings, from around the system. And they worked really hard at coming up with things like what would school look like if we were back in full on-campus live instruction? What if we are having to be reduced in the number of students in the campus at one time? What would a hybrid model look like? And then of course, if schools are closed for various reasons next year periodically, what would that look like? So those task forces were charged with figuring those things out. In addition to their best thinking, each of them were informed fully by local, state, and federal health guidelines. We have worked very closely throughout this process with the Kent County Health Department. We have been in close conversation with the Michigan Department of Health, and we've been in complete, thorough review of all the CDC guidelines that have been changing, but continually coming out over the course of the summer months. In addition to those groups of individuals, we also relied heavily on the input from parents in our recent parent survey. So all of those things together created a great opportunity then for the task forces to begin to think carefully about all the aspects of what those scenarios would look like.
Now, one question parents may be wondering, why does Grand Rapids Christian, as a Christian private school, have to follow the orders that are part of the governor's Safe Start School plan?
And the answer really is, we have to be a part of it. The governor's executive order was very clear last spring when she closed schools through that executive order. And now in her most recent return to learn or back to school roadmap that she announced on June 30th, once again, public, private, independent, non-public schools are included in that. Because we received questions about it, the Michigan Association of Non-Public Schools, which is a statewide organization that represents Catholic, Christian, and Lutheran schools around the state of Michigan. The MAN's board sought legal opinion, and it was recently returned to each of us as school heads and school leaders in the various private parochial schools in the state of Michigan, that in fact there is not a good argument to be made for us to fight that. We are going to honor what the governor's executive order states, and we will also be honoring the details within the most recent executive order about the kinds of protocols and things that we will be instituting depending on what phase of the return to full engagement we are in.